Okay, let's walk through an install of Ubuntu 24. Now, before I do, I'm doing this in Hyper-V, and I want you to see the settings of the virtual machine that I've created. So, key thing here, I did this as a Gen 2 virtual machine instead of Gen 1 in Hyper-V. And when you do that, you need to make sure that you have disabled secure boot. And so I've done that right here. You just click this to disable or enable or disable secure boot. I've got 4 gigs of memory that is dynamic. Everything else is pretty straightforward. I've connected it to my default switch so that it'll be behind a NAT table, but I will be able to get out to the internet. So let me go ahead and turn on. I've got the ISO already loaded, and I want to try or install Ubuntu. So I'm going to click my first option there, or hit enter on my first option as the case may be. And that's going to load the Ubuntu Desktop Live CD. Now, this is going to give me a chance to play around with Ubuntu before I actually decide whether to install it or not. It works. You got to be aware that running off the Live CD runs relatively slowly, especially on physical hardware, because you're running at the speed of the CD, and you really can't make any changes, update any software or anything like that, because you're on typically a read-only device. So the idea is not that you would run it off of that permanently, but that you could run off of that temporarily for a couple of reasons. Number one, and the reason they designed it for, was for you to be able to try out Ubuntu and see if you like it or not. Here's my Ubuntu Bootstrap as we're coming up. The other one is to be able to boot off of this to access, you'd have to mount another hard drive that was in the system, but you could mount a hard drive and try to access it and fix things that might be on it. So I'm going to go to language or English, and I'm going to set most of my defaults here. I'm using a wired connection. I don't want to update this installer. Now I'm running the installer right now. I'm going to go ahead and skip the installer update. And here's where I get my chance to either install Ubuntu or try it. So this comes up automatically. If I try Ubuntu, it takes me out of here, drops me off to an Ubuntu screen. I'm going to have an icon to go ahead and install it later if I want. But since I know I already install it, or I already want it, I'm going to do the install here. Notice it will install alongside or instead of my current operating system. So I'm going to do an interactive installation rather than an advanced one. An advanced one, I can set up an auto install YAML file. And I can have it, once I get that set up, I can repeat that with the identical install across multiple systems. But I'm going to do an interactive installation. And let's do the extended selection. So the default selection gives me basic Ubuntu, a web browser, and basic utilities. The extended selection gives me more office tools, more utilities. So I'm going to do the extended selection to give myself some more software to work with. I don't need any third-party software for my graphics or Wi-Fi, and I don't want to download and install additional media formats yet, so I'm just going to click Next. And then here's where I would choose where to go. So I could erase the disk and install Ubuntu, or I could do a manual installation where I could customize and install alongside an existing setup. Now, since I'm doing this in a blank VM, it makes sense for me to just click Next because this is going to be our only operating system on here. So I'm going to set my account, and it's going to give me my name. It's going to give me a default virtual machine. It's going to give me a username, and then I'm going to set a little default password. Be aware, by the way, that the password you use here, it uses a different password verification tool to see if it's a good password or not than after the system is booted up. So you can actually get away with a password here that you couldn't get away with somewhere else. Now, I want to point out a couple of things here. I'm going to require my password to log in. I can uncheck that and it'll log me in automatically. And then I'll need my password if I go to use elevated permissions. I also have the option to integrate with Active Directory here if I'm installing this in a Windows domain. I'm not, so I'm just going to say, hey, require my password to log in. Set my time zone. and launch my install. Now, this is going to take a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this video while it copies the files, and then when it gets done, we're going to come back and we're going to finish off our quick overview of doing a very fast and easy install of Ubuntu. Okay, a couple of things real quick. We're not done installing yet, as you can tell. But as we've been installing, you've seen several splash screens go by, basically giving you information about Ubuntu. So, why are we installing Ubuntu? Well, one of the reasons is Ubuntu is extremely popular in the United States and is one of the go-to OSs or go-to distributions, there we go, for users who are looking to dip their feet into Linux and see what they think of it. It's actually not my favorite. There are a lot of things that I like about it, however, and I understand different people have different perspectives on it. But one of the things I like about it is they do have a very active support community, and it's a distribution that focuses on stability. And for your average first-time user, that's probably a little more important than necessarily being cutting edge. So that's why we're doing it. We're going to do a couple of derivatives of it here in a little bit as well. But that is one of the reasons, even though it's not my favorite, that it's one of them that I always take a look at first when we are taking somebody through an introduction to Linux. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video again until this finishes installing, unless I have another thought that I want to share. And when it gets done, we'll pick it up and wrap up the install together. Okay, so when we get done with the install, it comes back to this little screen, which gives us the option to either continue testing or to restart now. I'm going to go ahead and restart because I don't need to test anymore. So once I click the restart, it's going to reboot for me, and it should come up to my full Ubuntu install. Now, asking me to remove the installation media. So I'm going to do a restore down and go to media, DVD drive, and eject. And this is really funny because it kind of ejects the DVD on a physical device. It'll eject the CD for you, and then what it's asking you to do is take the media out. So if you don't and you just hit enter, the hardware will typically suck it back in, and then it'll try to boot again. So that's what it's talking about here. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit enter, maximize my screen again, and we'll do a quick reboot onto Ubuntu 24.04. So it's going to run through its boot process here, and it should bring us straight to a desktop environment and allow us to log in. Now, this is taking it a second. So again, I'm going to go ahead and, hey, just as I get ready to say I'm going to pause, it comes up. All right, so let's take a quick look at the screen here. So we have all of our users, and if we have more than one, we'll have them listed here. There's an option if your user is not listed, you can click here. Give you the time, date, up here's your accessibility options, your network, audio, and power options. So this is kind of an idiosyncrasy. I'm going to come to network, and I'm going to click on it. But what it actually does is it brings me up pretty much everything. So here's my network, my audio right here, my power mode, my style, and then here are my power options. So this little tray, unlike Windows where you have the system tray and you can click on each icon individually, in Ubuntu you don't. It kind of clicks on the entire tray at once. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. Settings was down here in the corner, and this brings up my Ubuntu screen. Now, we'll talk about the Ubuntu desktop environment, which is a modified version of the GNOME environment, in a later video. But for the moment, here's my little steps I go through post-installation. Complete your setup. So I'm going to click Next after the welcome screen. Do I want to enable Ubuntu Pro? I really don't, and the default is to skip for now. And it tells you you can do it later through the software and updates application. So I'm going to say I want to skip Ubuntu Pro. Do I want to help improve Ubuntu? This is a test environment. The only thing I do is not going to help them out anyway, so I'm going to say no. And if you want, you can see the first report in the legal notice here. So I'm going to click next. Get started with more applications. If I want to install something, I'd install it through the App Center. We're actually going to touch on that in a later video. So I'm just going to click finish, and now I'm to my Ubuntu home screen. So at this point, I'm installed and ready to go. Now, we'll talk about this a little bit more a little later on, but for the moment, this takes us through the Ubuntu install process. So that now, if you didn't follow along, hopefully you'll be able to install Ubuntu on your own at will. So I'm going to go ahead and power it on the system. So up here, same thing. Click here, gives me my power, lets me lock, gives me my settings, gives me my network settings, my audio, my dark style. So I'm going to click on my power button and power off, and the rest of it we will play with a little bit later.